Yo. What's up, y'all? Listen, real quick. I'm starting to see a lot of people reacting to the situation with my Uppercut podcast, with the revelations in my newest battle versus King. And I'm seeing a lot of feedback and a lot of reaction from a lot of people, from Verb to just fans on Twitter, to I seen Piper Boy, I seen Battle Rap Trap, Angry Fan. I seen all the responses or whatever like that. And I don't know. I thought it was clear as day what I was saying on the Uppercut podcast. And I thought it was very clear and concise on the point that I was trying to make with my son's situation. First off, I just want to clear the air with everything right now and really explain to y'all what's going on. And I'm only going to do this one time because this is a very, very serious and sensitive situation that I went through. This wasn't for a bashing, or this wasn't for a revelation to like cry. No, it had nothing to do with that at all. Like, I don't know if sometimes people just do stuff to troll, or if they do things because they just feel like, they read a caption and then they just run off with something, or if they really listen to the interview. The interview on Uppercut Podcast, again, I thought I was very clear on what I was saying. He starts off by saying that he was with me on Math's show, My Expert Opinion. I did an episode, myself, Math, Knowledge from Hip Hop is Real, Tiger from Uppercut Podcast, and Misfit was there. We did an episode in August. That was around August, I would say like the middle of August, 15th or 16th. Now, that day that I did that episode, that was the week my son had to turn himself in. My son turned himself in August 22nd of this year, of 2024. So that was a bad week for me. I was running around doing things and then also preparing, for his departure and for him turning himself in and being locked up. So when he asks me the question, I tell him that day that we did that podcast, I just wasn't in the right mental space because I had all that other stuff going on. Now, initially, me and Mav had spoke about maybe bringing my son on, or maybe us, talking about certain topics, because it's involved with a whole bunch of other stuff. It's involved with the drill music going on in New York City. It's involved with the beefs that's going on in New York City. Like, my son's case is not a regular case. Is 2 attempt murders. 2 attempt murders for 2 shootings. 2 different shootings. There's a lot of other stuff tied in around my son's situation. It's not just his 2 shootings and him having multiple co-defendants, meaning in both separate shootings, there were other people involved. I'm not going to say if people were hit. I'm not going to say if someone died in another situation. It's a back and forth thing. So when me and Mav spoke about it, it was like, yo, there's a lot of shit going on here. This isn't like some regular stuff. This is some shit that was going on because of music. This is some shit that was going on because of real life drama, things that were going on behind the scenes in his neighborhood, in his projects, and his boys, and it's a whole bunch of other stuff. I know the situation. I'm not going to divulge all that other stuff because it's pertinent information that could tie other people up, that can, make things worse. There's also drama. You have drama in jail. You have ops in jail that were your ops before you went to jail. There's a whole bunch of stuff. And you have to understand that. So I'm not going to get into specifics about his initial situation. So I was still doing the show with Mav, and there's a segment in that episode where we touch on something a little bit, and I came across salty to URL. I didn't name URL, but I came across salty and aggravated at URL because I was like, yeah, dudes ain't hold me down, you know what I mean, da-da-da. And I was just feeling away. So when Tiger starts the episode, he says, yo, you was feeling away that day. Now, of course, when the cameras was off, myself, Misfit already knew the situation. Math already knew the situation. At the time, Knowledge and Tiger didn't know the situation. So when the cameras is off and we had a real conversation, that is what led to Tiger asking me because he knew I was upset that day. You know what I'm saying? Now, fast forward from August, I did the interview in maybe the end of November or maybe the beginning of December. I said I didn't feel the same way. I clearly said I didn't feel the same way. But I never spoke on the situation to where, like, I cleared the air on Mav's show because I never wanted to come across salty. I'm just not that dude. I'm not going to come across, like, feeling away and crying or anything like that. Now, that is the initial response. Now on the Tiger, on the Uppercut podcast is when I say, nah, I don't feel that way no more. I never felt like it was URL's responsibility to help me with my son's situation. But I'm going to give y'all insight on what exactly was the miscommunication. I didn't need money to bail my son out of jail. My son called an indictment initially. I already had him with me. Whatever situation was going on at home, had to get him out of that situation. He was with me. We already knew that he was involved in certain things. So now I'm trying to get him out of this situation and move him out of that instead of, you know, wherever he was at with his moms and certain things like that. Cool. But I knew that there would be a possibility that they might come knocking on the door. You feel me? All right, cool. I fully understood that. So months later, almost a year later, it was almost 10 months later, they came down with an indictment on my son and other people. My son goes to Rikers. He's in Rikers for 48 hours. I bail my son out. I don't ask nobody for bail money. I didn't ask nobody to help me bail my son out. I have money. That was not the issue. Bailed him out. His first bail was initially $150,000. You got to pay a certain percentage of that in New York City. I ended up paying almost 20 bands initially off the rip to bail him out. Did it out my own pocket. Got him out. He comes home. We're going to go shop for a lawyer maybe 7-8 days later. I had to battle Klutz around September. It was around my birthday. So I was like, all right, cool. Yeah, I just bailed out my son, but I got this battle with Klutz and I got a Kid Slade battle coming up in October. So I know I had some extra money on top of that, y'all. I have a job. I work for MTA, bro. I have a great job. I work for MTA. I'm a track worker. I've been working there for almost 2-3 years. I don't hide that I have a job now. Like all the street stuff, bro, I'm getting older, bro. What you want me to do? Like keep hustling? I hustled a long time in my life. I was in the streets for a long time. I was blessed enough to get a job. Now, I've also broken it down to y'all that I had to also not just take care of my responsibilities in my home, but my mother was sick, bro. And my mother has a mortgage. And I had to help take care of her as well. So I had a lot of financial burdens on me all at once. And I never asked anybody for help. So please don't get it twisted. It was never about like being upset about finances. No. But am I fucking Jay-Z? Am I fucking a millionaire? No, I'm not a millionaire. But I'm not doing bad at all. At all. And I'm not doing bad right now. It was a time constraint. It was something that needed to be done in a time-sensitive manner. So, back to the situation. I bailed my son out. He's home for 2 weeks. Now we know we have to go get a lawyer. I spoke with URL about that. Like, yo, just bail my son out. I just spent 20 bands. I got bread. But I need to get a lawyer ASAP because I want to get a lawyer done before I get my discovery on the situation. Because my son also told me all the other stuff tied in. I actually know what the situation is. So anybody that's ever been in the streets knows, yo, if you're going to fight a case, it's better to fight a case from home, not fight the case while you're in jail where you can go rack up things, where they can monitor certain things, where you can get caught up and tied up in even more stuff. Cool. I'm literally with the lawyer that I want to book. And I know I said 3 figures. I meant 6 figures. She is a very, very expensive lawyer, but she gets the job done. She handled a lot of high-profile lawyers she handled a lot of high-profile individuals in the past. Me and her have a great relationship because she's actually done certain stuff within the hip-hop community with me, with give backs and like talks for artists and industry stuff. Like, she's a high-profile person. We were reviewing the case. We literally was reviewing the case and sitting down, and I was ready to like go with her, me and my son. And I got a phone call from his public defender attorney. Pick up because I don't know the number. We only have him because, you know, he's just like set in stage for the bail. And he's like, hey, trying to get in contact with Ernesto. This his father? I'm like, yeah. He's like, yeah, your son just got hit with a second indictment. He has to turn himself back in. I just bailed him out, 20 bands. Now he got to turn himself back in. Mind you, I'm about to book this lawyer right now. I'm literally in the lawyer's office with the lawyer. So we get the call. So I'm like, all right, hang up. Yo, they got another indictment on you. My son is like, for what? We don't know. We don't know if somebody's talking. We don't know what's going on. We don't know what. He has to turn himself in by 4 p.m. today. It was 2 p.m. we was at the lawyer's office. I'm like, yo, all right, cool. We got to cut this short. The lawyer says, yo, you already know what it is, but this is an expensive case. I'll help you. I'll give you some guidance. I'll tell you certain things you need to do. But, you know, if you really want me to take this full on before the discovery comes, you know, I could really put some pressure on and, you know, we could see where we could get the best situation. Now, mind you, I turn him in. We go back. Boom. He turns himself in. When I go see the charges, it's another attempt murder. That means it was the second shooting. So, somewhat knew of this situation. It was a ongoing situation. And, they hit him for 2 indictments, for 2 separate shootings. I won't tell you how they got there and stuff, but, you know, there was a lot of other people involved, other situations, other shootings involved, other drama, a whole bunch of stuff was going on. Keep it a buck. So, when I seen that, I was like, yo, this is like crazy. Now, 2 days later, when he gets back to the island, they tell me I need they put another bail on it. Now the bail was $350K. No, $250K. $250K. He just had $150K bail. So I'm thinking, yo, they might not even let him out. Like, they might not let him out. They might just keep him on the island and say, nah, you remanded. You're not going to get a second bail. But the lawyers seen that my son had community around him. A lot of kids, when they get in these situations, the parents are not there. They don't show up for court. They don't, they don't have representation. They don't have none of that stuff. So, you get what I'm saying? Like, they seen that I was there. And I had the public defender attorney, he said, yeah, coach certain things to let them know, like, look, this kid has, family supporting him, stuff like that. Let's get to the bottom of this, and it would be best if, if you gave him another bail. Now, I already knew that it would be a 50-50 chance they give him another bail. They gave him another bail. But now that it's 250, that means I'm going to need to put up another 20% of that to bail him out. I didn't ask URL for no bread to bail him out the second time. Not the first time or the second time. I had the Kid Slate battle lined up, and I knew that I was about to battle Clutch anyway. I was done writing for Clutch. I just didn't memorize. So I was like, I'm battling this kid next week anyway. When I get to the Clutch battle, Beasley asked me the situation. Like, yo, what's up with your son? He's locked up right now. I said, yeah, he went back in. Smack called me. Yo, what's going on? Like, he wilding like this? Like, two? You know what I'm saying? So I understood, and they understood, like, yo, this is a lot going on. But even me, I can't find out all the details because he's locked up. I can't talk on the jail phone. I can't do certain things. Like, I need to get to the bottom of this to know how to fight the case. But now I've come out of pocket 40 bands. After I battle Clutch, I take some of that money along with the money I had, and I bailed him out the second time. I am $40,000 spent on my son's bails before I even book a lawyer, before I even know how to fight a case. I've already spent 40 bands. So I said, yo, I'm going to need some extra insurance. Now, I still have money because, again, like I said, I work. I have a great job, bro. I have a great job. New York City, subway, metro, track worker. Like, I have a great job, bro. I can make easily 6 figures a year with my job if I wanted to. I never really had to because I was always getting music money. I get streaming. I get YouTube. I get all that. So I live good. I'm comfortable. But things are starting to pile up now. You feel what I'm saying? And the thing is, if you're going to fight a case, it's very time sensitive because you need to get the lawyer so that the lawyer can prepare to figure out what they can fight, what you can't fight, if you should cop out, if you should go to trial. But these are things that you cannot play with when it comes to time. So that's why I went to URL like, yo, I need a quick flip. That's all. I need a quick flip. Now, I could borrow money. And like I said in the thing, Math offered to lend me the bread. So Math was like, yo, you need the bread. I'll send you the bread on. It was like a Tuesday. He was like, yo, hit me on Thursday. I'll transfer you the money. Now, the thing is this. I don't owe people money, and I never do owe people money. So if Math was going to give me some bread, I'm going to pay Math back. Math, keep it real. If I didn't pay Math back, Math probably wouldn't even have said nothing. But that's just not how I operate. You feel what I'm saying? I'm not borrowing money from my moms. My mom's is sick, bro. I'm taking care of my moms, bro. I have a family at home also that I'm taking care of. You understand? So my whole situation with my son is my issue. And that's what I was trying to point out. That's my issue. That's my son. That's my issue. That's my responsibility. This is not URL's responsibility. This is not Math's responsibility. This is nobody's responsibility but mine. You understand? I'm a single father. I've always been a single father. Anyone that knows me knows the situation and knows how long I've always raised my son. You understand? Now, these circumstances that he got caught up in, I don't condone it. I don't sit there and say, yo, it's messed up. No, I'm not one of those parents. I'm one of those parents that's like, yo, you got yourself caught up in that? All right, you're going to handle it. Now, of course, I don't want my son to be put away for jail, or I don't want him to, you know what I'm saying, like live a life where he's stuck in jail. My son never had got arrested before this. He never got caught for like no little weed or no like, some fighting. No, he's never been locked up before that. My son was a rapper and he played ball. He could fight. Used to box when he was younger. He could fight. So he was always tough. You know what I mean? He was a popular kid, you know, but there were other circumstances that went down maybe a year or two prior to it that caused him to defend himself and be on defense in his neighborhood. Let me just put it like that way. So it was either If I get caught lacking, I could get, you know what I'm saying? I could end up dead or in jail. Or, so what am I going to do? All right, boom, I'm going to protect myself. And it was one of those type of situations where he had to kind of like defend himself. That's the furthest I'll go with his situation. Back to the situation. So after I battled Kid Slade, I already knew like, yo, I'm gonna need more bread. I don't want to pay people back. I'd rather work for the money. So I hit up URL. Yo, let's work out something. I bailed my son out already. He's out of jail already. I don't need that. But since I just spent 40 bands on this, bro, let's work out a little 3-battle deal. If y'all not going to do it, just say you're not going to do it. I'll go another route. I'll go to another league. Or I'll go and do some fucking overtime at my job. Or go do, or keep it real with you, I'll take my own risk and do what I got to do. Streetwise, I pawn jewelry. I let my car go. I did certain things. I let my whip go for 6 months. I pawned some jewelry. You understand? I did what I had to do because it was time sensitive. It wasn't like I had 4 or 5 months to wait for bookings or do this or do that. No, I needed this now. It was October, the discovery, and the next court date was in November. I needed to go into court already looking like we was ready to fight the case. So that those type of things happen. So then when you show up to court and the prosecution sees, oh, he's got a paid lawyer. Oh, okay. He's got a paid lawyer. Oh, he's got a real paid lawyer. Oh, he's got community behind him. He's got a family behind him. Oh, this kid is, you know what? All right, cool. We're going to offer a certain plea deal. When they see that kids don't have no representation and parents aren't there and they're going to railroad the kids and try to offer them crazy numbers. Yo, take this, take it or leave it. This is all a mind game. Anybody that's in the streets know that this is a mind game. You got to know how to play these cases. I wanted to go in court looking a certain way. I still went into court looking a certain way. So, and it being his first offense, you know what I mean? Even though it was 2, he never had no trouble before that. So I needed a lawyer to depict what was going on. You understand? The right way. And that's why I wanted to do the deal. So I was like, yo, that initial like down payment for that lawyer, that's what I needed it for. We work out a deal. I tell them, yo, you already wanted me to battle Klutz. You got me already battling Swervo. And I'll take some of the new guys and help brand y'all new class. I don't care. I don't care what it is. I'll take the shorts. Just let me just get it up front so I could pay these lawyer things. All right, cool. This is in November. All right, cool. We got you. November comes, nothing. December comes, nothing. January comes, they announce a card. They announce one of these Born Legacy cards or some shit. Like, it was like some, the lower of the lower cards, basically. It wasn't a Summer Madness. It wasn't a Gnome. It wasn't like, you know what I mean? It was like one of those low tier cards. When I seen that, I said, damn, that's a card I could have been on. And they did multiple cards like that because they're branding new talent, which was what I was trying to get into that space. Even if they would have told me, yo, Cole, you know, for this amount of money, I know we said 3 battles, but you might need to do 5 battles. You think I'm going to sit there and say, nah, y'all bugging now? No. But we came to an agreement. So even if they would have said, yo, you got to do a couple more battles, whatever it is. All right, cool, whatever. Whatever we need to get done, we get done. This is my son. You know what I mean? But there was no communication. There was nothing. It was nothing after that. So I'm not going to be hitting them and asking them, yo, what's up? Yo, what's up? No, it's not. Okay, cool. This is not priority to them. That's okay. That is not priority to them. Just don't have me waiting and thinking that, you know what I mean, we're going to lock this in because I'm making certain arrangements around this case. That was the lesson that, yo, you got to treat it like a business. You know, that was the only thing I was upset about. I wasn't upset that they didn't want to help me or anything like that. Like, it's cool. And I'm not upset with them now. Like, Beasley DM'd me some shit a couple weeks ago. We laughed about it, whatever like that. Smack called me from Miami because he bumped into one of my peoples. And me and him was on the phone for like a good 45 minutes, maybe like a month and a half ago. You know what I mean? And he asked me, what's my son's situation? I told him, yeah, bro, he locked up. So I'm not like mad at them or beefing with them or anything like that. That day on MASH podcast, I was upset. But that was the week my son was turning himself in. And I got emotional, and I didn't like how I looked on camera. So I felt the way about that. Now, fast forward to Uppercut Podcast, I wanted to clear the air on that. But I still see people was confused. They thought I needed money to bail my son out. No, I didn't need no money to bail my son out. My son was already out of jail. We fought the case from home. All in all, his bail was $400,000. I spent $40,000. That's 10% of the bail. That's all. So I needed the extra money to book a 6-figure lawyer in order to fight the case. I ended up fighting the case. We got one attempt knocked off. We got it sent to a gun possession, but they didn't want to take off. They were supposed to take off one of the other attempt murders to a shooting, like downgraded to an assault. I felt like if I had the right lawyer, I would have been able to get that, and I would have been able to get his time less than 7 years. Maybe it would have been 4 to 5 years, which is what we was trying to do initially to negotiate it. Now, there's other ways that my son can come home. You know, when you're a violent felon, because they consider that felony, this isn't a drug-related case. They don't really give you good time. There's new things in New York, though, that's called like a VFO, you know what I mean, violent felony override, where it's like they look at first-time offenders that were involved in like violent stuff, and they try to give them an opportunity. If they do their time correctly, they don't rack up tickets, certain things like that. So that's the goal now with why he's locked up. You understand? But I was able to still get one of the attempts off, you know what I mean? We got it down to gun possession, and then, you know, he had to cop out to that. So that's all it was. You know what I mean? It was time sensitive. I already spent $40,000 out of my pocket. And I wanted to run up a nice little deposit to give to the lawyer. And then I was going to pay the rest of the lawyer by myself. So you think about it, bro, it's still like my responsibility. So I wasn't mad at them like, oh, I hate them and they always helping, things like that. But I thought I could come to them with something serious like that, because in the past, other battlers have come to them for stuff way more insignificant. That's all I'm going to say. They've also done certain things and, yo, here's some bread. Don't pull up. Or, yo, here's some bread. Like, go shopping. Tricking. Certain things like that. You feel me? So, you know, that's why I looked at it like, yo, you know what? I'm working for the bread. I'm not even like asking to pay it. Like, yo, cash out. I never borrowed money from you. I don't know how many battle rappers borrow money. I don't know how many battle rappers need their phone paid or their car note. Like, no. So what I did, I pawned some jewelry. I let the whip go. You understand? Like, I had to do what I had to do as a father. And I did all that, and I fought the case. There's no anger or you know, like you know, hatred. Nah, it's not none of that, bro. At the end of the day, my son put himself in a situation, and me as a father, I'm gonna help him get out his situation. This is the first time he was in it. He's young. Everybody makes mistakes. There's definitely situations in my past and the people around me past that we all could have been in those situations. And just thank God it didn't come back to us. So I looked at that as my karma. Like, shit, I was involved in a couple things that I could have been locked up for. That filthy karma come back around. That's a lesson. That was more the lesson. Like, yeah, it might not come back through you. It could come back through your child. It could come back through other family members. You understand? I had a lot. I'll take care of my moms, take care of my family, take care of my son, doing a lot of things. I just need a little bit of extra help. I was upset. Recollected, my son is in a good situation. He comfortable where he's at. You know what I mean? We getting him in the right programs, and that's it. We're going to do the time. He didn't snitch on nobody. He kept his mouth shut, and he's going to do what he's got to do as a man. And then when he come home, he going to move accordingly. That's it. So I wanted to clear the air on that because just felt like there was a lot of like, I don't know how y'all misconstrued it, but I didn't want like people to really get confused as to what was, you know, like what was my end game with that interview. You know, I just felt like y'all should have like just paid attention a little bit. Or maybe I didn't explain it right. You know what I mean? So that's all it is, man. Again, I got no issues with anybody. I don't got no beef with nobody. I'm not mad at nobody. Nothing like that, you know. But it is a lesson. Treat this game as a business, no matter what. And as long as you treat it like a business and you be upfront about it, that's the key. Be upfront about it. If I'm not going to do something with you, I'm not going to do it with you. If I'm going to do it with you, then we're going to move accordingly. That's all. That's all. Move like that, and that's a lesson to the new battlers. That's a lesson to the battlers in this game. That's all. That's what I really wanted to convey. Like, yo, you have to treat it like a business. This wasn't a URL slander campaign. No, none of that. But it's my reality, and you can't like judge my reality or question what my reality is. I was there. You understand? So this is a lesson. That's all it is. You know what I mean? It's a lesson, and sometimes those lessons are really harsh in life, you know? So, again, I have no issues with nobody. It is what it is. You know what I mean? Free Nesto, Brooklyn. Holla.